Good mythical morning, everyone. It's the notorious, glorious V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live on RogueNews.com. I'm flying solo today. A lot of things going on, so I figured, you know what? I've been crazy busy. I wanted to jump in real quick and give you my 2 cents. Give you my 2 cents because many of you are wondering, where's the ape? Where's the sense that he's bringing to us? And I know this. I've scheduled this broadcast for 11 o'clock, and it's about 11:54 here on the East Coast. It is an absolute balmy 24 degrees outside. And every day, folks, I ask myself, why do I live here? Why? Why do I live here? It's so bloody cold. Um, yeah, like a mook, I completely left my car parked outside, didn't garage it, and the I couldn't even open the door. The damn car was just completely frozen shut. So I'm having a hell of a day. And with that being said, there's so many other things going on in the world. But before I jump into that, I want to, kind of pitch the paid sponsors here. The paid sponsors, yes, absolutely, folks. Let's talk about. Let me just get this thing set up here. So let's talk about Remain Calm. RemainCalm.net, folks. RemainCalm.net. This is the place for all things asset protection. Like, you want to know it. You want to this. Consider it financial insurance. Consider it financial insurance. If you don't have this, I mean, how many of you are paying your health insurance? You're paying your car insurance. You're paying this insurance on that and that insurance on this. You're doing it just in case something were to go wrong. You are covered. It is the CYA, the cover your ass policy. That's basically what insurance is. But nobody's got financial insurance. What if you are in a financial hole? What if people are out to sue you? What if you are facing the threat of confiscation of your funds, whether it be from an individual, a judgment, a governmental entity, a state, local, whatever? You want to make sure you're protected. Get over to RemainCalm.net. Get that financial insurance, which is RemainCalm.net, their asset protection program. Get it done. Okay? Get it done. And now, here's the deal. Okay? You go there, you got the blockchain trust, the 1099K buster. People are already getting 1099Ks from Coinbase, Kraken, this and that, and just go over to RemainCom to get it taken care of. And also, if you want to talk to me, you can talk to me one-on-one with a great one. And folks, I'm telling you right now, there's a pretty cool thing that we're developing that I'm going to let the cat out of the bag when the time is right. And also, guys, if you're ready to trade cryptos, listen, man, here's the deal. Learn how to make money. It is not the most amount of profits are not made when things are going well and there's a smooth trajectory upward. No. The most amount of profit is made is in volatility. Traders love volatility. They love it to pieces, my friend. They love it. Learn how to trade. Go to watchestrade.io. You have Z, you got Cowboy over there. These guys know how to do it. We have the 7-for-7 deal going on. $7 for 7 days. Make it happen for yourself. Z and Cowboy out there just killing it. And you have all sorts of wonderful payment options, month to month, week to week, 3-month plans, paying Bitcoin, paying fiat, whatever the heck you want to do. It's all up to you. And that's basically it, folks. And guys, I just want to show you this. Look at this bad boy. Look at this bad boy. This is a little bit of I have very few vices, folks. This is one of them. It's a Camaro ZL1 1LE. Whoa, boy. 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque. Sets a Nürburgring lap time of 7 minutes and 16 seconds, which is blistering. Yeah. Life goals right here. Life goals. Yep. Part of the visualization board, folks. Part of the visualization board. Anyway, with that being said, let's get into it. A lot of things going on in the world, and I wanted to get into some serious facts here. What is this? Hold on. Perfect. All right, so real quick here, guys. There's a lot of things that are starting to heat up. and it's starting to heat up because it kind of proves something to us, right? It kind of shows us that the deep state ain't dead. The rumors of the deep state's demise have been greatly exaggerated. The rumors of the deep state's demise have been greatly exaggerated. Our buddies over at Zero Hedge has put out an interesting article there from sources out of Russia and whatnot and around the world. We all know Venezuela is quickly and rapidly becoming a hotspot. It is the new front of the proxy war that's been highlighted to the max. We've seen the failed state that is the Ukraine. We've seen the situation that is in Syria. We've seen the blowback from there, and now, conveniently, as if on cue, no pun intended, as if on cue, here comes Venezuela. Here comes Venezuela. And we've seen the proxy war of NGOs constantly going into Venezuela, constantly rattling. And look, I'm no fan of Maduro or the socialism BS. And I think if the Venezuelans are smart enough to get rid of Maduro, if they were smart enough, they would have integrated with what China and Russia has been doing, economically speaking, a lot sooner than they are doing right now. Number one, and number two, they would have never, ever, ever, ever put their gold on loan with the Bank of England. They should have never done that. Okay, but that's another topic for another day. They've allowed the oppositional parties to grow. They allowed the basically the graduates of the School of Americas, the CIA School of Americas, to really come into Venezuela, to really sow the seeds of discord, to really begin to foment the strife that we see today with the rise of Juan Guaido. And folks, isn't it funny that Juan Guaido, right? And let me see if I can find this here. Juan Guaido, right? And Barack Obama, they look alike. Is it just me? I mean, is it just me? Right? Let me bring in Guaido here. Right, let me bring in Juan Guaido. Juan Guaido. He is. Dude, I'm sorry. This guy, like I said it before, maybe we're being gamed here in somewhat shape or form. But I mean, look at this guy. This guy. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Hello. Are you seeing this? I mean, come on. This is kind of creepy, right? This guy is the Latino Barack Insane Obama. What's this? I mean, come on. I mean, we know that what's his name? Maduro is the Saddam Hussein body double. There's no doubt about that. But dude, this is the opposition. This kid is Obama's son. Now, hold on. If I had a son, he'd look like Juan Guaido. He looked exactly like Juan Guaido. Hold on now. How's it gonna have that coup? How's it gonna have that coup? Hold on. Look at that. I noticed this days ago. I don't know if some of you have caught the same thing that I've been catching. Oh wait, I didn't even present it to you guys. Jeez, I'm so sorry, guys. Look at this. There you go. I'm an idiot. I'm like hit. I didn't hit the present. This is what happens when I don't have the Google with me. Look at this, right? And I mean, it's kind of crazy, man. Juan Guaido. Watch this. I had a great picture here. Look at this. Come on. Look at that. That's kind of creepy. Okay? Come on. Look, that's Obama right there. Hold on. Hold on. Come on, man. It's Barack. It's Barack. Come on. Look at this guy. He's Barack Obama. He's a Spanish Barack Obama. Like, are you kidding me? Look at this. This is Barack Obama, man. Unreal. Bloody real. All right, I wanted to show you that, guys, right? So Maduro has been under pressure. Juan Guaido becomes the chosen one. He becomes the golden child. And a spokesman for the Kremlin has denied rumors that a private Boeing 777 registered to Russia's Norwind airline has landed in Caracas this week. Was there to spirit away the chunk of the country's gold. Now, there's 20 tons of gold mysteriously disappeared from Venezuela's vault. On Monday, a Russian newspaper reported that the empty plane had departed from Moscow to Caracas with enough space for some 400 passengers. According to photos taken by Reuters, it was parked by a private corner of the Caracas airport, and it marked the first time the plane had flown on that route. And reports said that the plane carried 2 crew members and that there was no obvious reasons for it to fly there. Peskov cautioned journalists to be careful with different hoaxes, then asked for when asked for a response from to the plane rumors. And what sounded like a slight against the U.S., Peskov said Russia was committed to helping resolve the political situation in Venezuela without interfering in the country's business. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that Moscow will do anything to support Maduro. And though it's worth noting that reports claim that Russia is nervous about protecting money it has invested in Venezuela, which has been used to help prop up the Maduro regime. It's just probably coincidence. One day after the Russian official warned that Venezuela would struggle to meet its financial obligations to Moscow under a $3.5 or $3.1 billion debt restructuring deal, Bloomberg is reporting that a mysterious Russian 777 had landed in Caracas on Tuesday and ferried away 20 tons of gold, equivalent to roughly 20% of the country's holdings of the shiny metal, to an unknown location with little explanation. The story cited a bombshell tweet sent by the Venezuelan lawmaker Jose Guerra, a former central bank economist who remains in touch with old colleagues there, and the welter of social media speculation that followed, though Guerra provided no evidence. And to be sure, many outlandish claims have been made in the week since the opposition leader Juan Barack Hussein Obama Jr. Guaido declared himself the legitimate democratically elected leader of what is once the Latin America's wealthiest nation, creating the biggest threat to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's rule since the socialist dictator took control of the office in 2013. Moving 20 tons of gold bars worth some $840 million occurred shortly after the UK denied Maduro's regime's request to retrieve some $1.2 billion in gold being kept in the vaults of the Bank of England. Now, you might ask yourself a question, folks. You might ask yourself a question. Was there indeed a Boeing 777 from Norwind Airlines, Russia's Norwind Airlines, that has landed in Venezuela to ferry 20 metric tons of gold? That is the question. I have it from a very good source. from a birdie? And the answer is yes, indeed. 20 metric tons of gold was taken from Venezuela and flown back to Moscow. Correct. Now you might ask yourself, whose gold was it? Was the Russians stealing Venezuela's gold? The answer is no. The 20 metric tons of gold were loaned to the Venezuelans, or the equivalent value of it was given to the Venezuelans, to help bolster their forex reserves because they were in a whole heap of trouble. The 20 metric tons of gold was also ferried out of Russia because we know all too well, folks, what has happened in the Ukraine. Do you remember the Ukraine? Have you forgotten the Maidan? The Maidan that the pig Poroshenko, the deep state operative that he is, the current president of the Ukraine. Have you forgotten what he has said? He said in relation to what is occurring in Venezuela, he opened his big fat failure of a lips and a mouth, and understanding fully well that Juan Guaido, aka Barack Hussein Obama Jr., as soon as he stepped to the forefront, what does Poroshenko say? Oh, we stand with you, Ukraine being another vassal, another lackey of exceptional stand. We stand with you because you are undergoing a Maidan of your own. And what is the Maidan? It was a CIA-led coup. What is happening in Venezuela? A CIA-led coup. And what happened during the night of the Maidan when it was all going down and that the elected president who was democratically elected was ousted from power and sought safety in Russia? What happened that night when the government of the Ukraine fell? In the middle of the night, 34 tons of Ukrainian gold was stolen, gone, vamoosed, and never talked about ever again. The NGOs, the military proponents that are in the back pocket of the deep state in the U.S., the CIA operatives, they know how they make their money. They make their money in gold. They make their money in narcotics. They make their money in oil. So what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Well, they got the oil, sorry, the gold, and they got the hell out of the country because they knew what was happening. They know that there is a potential, folks. There is a potential that the U.S. will come in I don't know what happened. That was totally weird. That was totally weird. Wow. Okay. If you guys are there, I'm still here. I have no idea what happened. The connection just cut out. I was talking about Venezuela. I was talking about the deep state, and next thing you know, vamoose. I was gone. Interesting. Very interesting. I kept talking like I was still connected here. Maduro willing to negotiate with opposition in Venezuela following U.S. sanctions and the cutting off of oil revenues. Guaido is being targeted by Venezuelan Supreme Court. Massive protests expected today. America should not travel to Venezuela until further notice. Who knows? The whole thing here, folks. The whole thing here is that the deep state is not dead. Okay, the deep state is not dead. Now, why the hell are we in Venezuela? Now, I told you guys several times before, it is the gold, is because of the oil. And it's going to get heated up because Russia vows to defend its Venezuelan assets. So let me ask you folks this. If the question is, if the good guys have taken power, if the good guys are stealing or steering, excuse me, the levers and apparatuses of government, if they are in control, if they are in the driver's seat, why the hell are we in Venezuela? Why the hell are we again being the aggressors? Why the hell are we again being outplayed by the Russians and the Chinese? Why the hell is this happening? Russia, which stands by Nicolas Maduro in the ongoing Venezuelan political crisis, will use all available legal mechanisms to defend its interests in the Latin American country. It was the Russian oil giant Rosneft, the largest oil company in the world, 10 times bigger than ExxonMobil, has invested and extended loans to Venezuela's state oil firm in an exchange for crude oil deliveries. Russia will defend its interests in Venezuela within the international law using all mechanisms available to us. Russia has kept close ties with Maduro and has extended loans to Venezuela, including oil from Rosneft, lending money to Venezuela's state-held firm PDVSA. Rosneft has extended the U.S. $6 billion in loans to PDVSA, which owns Citgo, which needs to be redeemed in crude oil supplies by the end of this year. And according to the S&P Global Platts, as of November 2018, Venezuela has $3.1 billion in outstanding loans to repay to Rosneft. The Russian company also has 5 joint up. Look, here's the deal. Notice we are coming in. How did we attack or how did we overthrow Ukraine? How did we overthrow Ukraine? We overthrew them and we did it rapidly and quickly. Why did we do it? Because of energy. Because of energy. Because of Russian energy. Because of Russian LNG. Why did we go into Syria? Because of energy. Because of Russian energy. Why are we in Venezuela? Because of Russian energy. It is the proxy war of the deep state. Why the hell are we doing this, folks? If the deep state is dead, why the hell are we engaged in a proxy war against the Russians all over the world without, any sort of willingness to cooperate on our part? Any sort of, hey, you know what? Hey, Russia, you know what? You're in Venezuela. You know, Rosneft, you're doing your thing. How about we have a JV agreement? Rosneft, we want to bring ExxonMobil. We want to bring in Conoco. We want to bring in Chevron. And we want to go ahead and work with you in developing the oil for Venezuela. No. We don't want that. See, we're not simply satisfied with robbing and raping your resources. We want complete power so we can exploit every aspect. You know, people talk about vertically integrated companies. We are a vertically integrated empire in the sense that when we begin to siphon, see, we're not happy with just one getting a little piece of the pie. We want the whole thing. We want your oil. We want your gold. We want your plants. We want your soil. We want your people. We want to absolutely eviscerate you. It's what we do. It's what we do. Juan Guido. Juan, I look like Barack Obama Guido, and I could be Obama's son. Someone needs to do a DNA test on this kid. Could be his brother. I have no idea. I don't know how these CIA breeding programs work. And we all know that Obama's a Manchurian to begin with. We all know. We all know that Guaido's bank accounts were frozen, that he's been ordered by the Supreme Court of Venezuela that he's not allowed to travel abroad. His travel rights have been suspended. What is going to happen? Is the U.S. going to ride to the rescue for its lackey? And you all know the stupid clipboard that John, the maniacal mustache Bolton, literally, I firmly believe that John Bolton reeks of sulfur. He reeks of hellfire. He reeks of brimstone. The guy goes to sleep in a missile silo. I have no question about it. John Bolton drives to work in a tank, and he runs over school children on his way to work. I have no doubt about it. I have no doubt that John Bolton, on his spare time, beheads little animals like squirrels that he captures in the backyard of his missile silo. I have no doubt about it. John Bolton, inside of his missile silo, has lampshades that are made from human skin from the places that he's been to war or caused death and destruction all over the place. And we know Bolton, and we know the deep state, and I've said this before, they've been staging forces in Colombia and in Brazil to deal with Venezuela. They've been doing it for the last 2 years. And the Bolsonaro victory, on the surface being that it looked like a populist, anti-globalist, anti-leftist victory, well and good those things were, Bolsonaro's connections to the deep state, Bolsonaro's connections to financial powers in Wall Street and in Washington, D.C. is very, very concerning. And now they will have the guy necessary to give the rubber stamp to allow forces, men, and or material and airspace to be open as well, to be moved from Brazil directly into Venezuela. We know the beef that Guyana has with Venezuela. Venezuela claiming a swath of territory that is held by Guyana to be historically part of Venezuela. You can expect the U.S. forces to move from there. You can expect the vassal state of Colombia to provide the resources, the airspace, the logistics for U.S. forces to move. Bolton wrote down 5,000 troops to Colombia. Folks, there's already more than 5,000 troops already in Colombia. They're already there. That whole thing that he accidentally wrote down, no. That was on purpose. He's not that stupid. He's not that stupid. Arrogant, yes. Oh, man, that guy is full of hubris. But stupid? No. No, he's not stupid in the least bit. The Kremlin considers sanctions against PDVSA as illegal, a sign of unfair competition and an attempt to interfere with Venezuela's international affairs. Russia is assessing the potential consequences of the sanctions on PDVSA for Moscow and Peskov added. And according to analysis briefed by Platts, whatever the outcome of Venezuela's political impasse is, Rosneft won't cut off Venezuelan oil assets, as oil is pretty much the only hard currency revenue that the country can get. An analyst at a Western bank estimates Rosneft's assets in Venezuela to be about 2.5 billion, plus another 2.5 billion in crude supplies for PDVSA. Venezuela probably has, and again, it probably has the largest amount of proven oil reserves in the entire planet. That is why we are there. Venezuela has a sickening amount of gold that is there as well that needs to be extracted. Now, here's the other kicker, okay? Here's another angle that people have not looked at. And I have a sneaking suspicion. That also Venezuela has platinum. And I'm hearing rumors. I can't confirm it. I can't confirm it. But Venezuela has some strategic metals that are there as well. Vanadium, cobalt, even platinum. All of which are very important for nuclear fission. For enriching uranium and plutonium, but also for cold fusion, especially platinum. Very important for cold fusion. The crystal lattice structures that are on platinum is very, very conducive for cold fusion technology and energy. That is why we're there. So the question to us, folks, if Q is real and all this is happening and the arrests are happening and everybody's in jail, blah 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 blah, and all the bad guys are running and hiding for life, and there's been so many deaths, and the entire members of the deep state have been taken out and killed, and blah 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 blah. Why in God's name are we running another bloody operation in Venezuela? And it is also proof positive the president has no power over the foreign policy of this country. There's no doubt about it. None whatsoever, folks. None whatsoever. And that is the issue, my friend. That is the issue. That is the issue. Every day you don't get a single proof. You don't get a single proof of anything that is being said on these chans by the Q guys and this, that, and the other. Any shred of proof has ever materialized of any sort of fact or any sort of event happening. None. But what you get is an active, everyday, in-your-face proof that the deep state is alive and well. And the rumors of its demise have been greatly exaggerated. Here is a very good article. India will circumvent U.S. sanctions by paying for Iranian oil in rupees. Earlier this month, Iranian and Indian officials reached an agreement on how India will pay for its oil imports from Iran. Folks, this has been happening for 3 bloody years. I documented it very well, and so has my colleague Jim Willie. Jim's been on the money on this as well. 3 years ago, we talked about it. The triumvirate, India, Turkey, Iran. How initially India was paying for Iranian energy supplies, using Turkey as a settlement facility, paying for Iranian energy in gold. And now they're paying direct with the rupee. And if you know anything about the rupee, it is a non-convertible currency. Doesn't work well. Nobody really wants it outside of India. But the Iranians are taking it. That means there's some sort of a swap facility set up where they can move from the rupee to the Iranian rial to Chinese yuan, and I guarantee you there are Russian and Chinese influences here that allows the swaps to happen. The accord stipulates that Iran's revenues from oil exports to India will be deposited in the rupee account in the state-owned UCO bank. The funds will be exempted from hefty withholding taxes and can be used to purchase goods from the Indian market, paying for diplomatic missions, investing in the stock market, or any other related aim that Iran desires. How's that great? So give us the oil. We'll pay you in rupees. You can take the rupees and you can reinvest it back in India, in the Indian market. India has a growing stock market, has a growing economy. Unlike previous round of U.S. sanctions on Iran, the current accord between Tehran and New Delhi does not include a method to settle payments in convertible currency, namely the euro. Prior to Iran signing the nuclear deal, India has agreed to pay for 45% of Iranian oil in rupees and the rest in euros. Back then, Iran had envisaged, and this is why the SPV, the special vehicle, is being created by the European Union, because they get a piece of the pie out of this deal, folks. They get a piece of the pie out of this deal. The Turkish route was prominently closed. I told you about that. And again, one of the things I've been saying since Jump Street, the dollar will die 1,000 deaths overseas. It will die by 1,000 cuts overseas before you recognize it here. So when you look at the economy of the United States, you say, oh, wow, we have a 4.2% growth. How do we have a 4.2% growth? Because we had a multi-trillion-dollar spending spree. That's how. It's the only government in the world where government expenditure is counted as GDP growth. I don't want to hear about your 4.2% GDP increase. It's bullshit. It's fake. As the dollar dies overseas, you're going to have a higher and higher stock market. You're going to have a higher and higher Dow. You're going to have equity markets move. You know, Dr. John Williams, who I respect highly, says, oh, people are going to be jumping out of the dollar. No. The more chaos is erupting in the Western world because the Western countries are freaking run by morons and idiots and sycophants and psychos and satanic pedophiles. That's who runs the West. I'm so proud. I'm so proud that this is how we ended up. God, our founding fathers and philosophers are all turning in their graves. But as the West panics, what's going to happen is they got to put the dollar somewhere. I mean, they're going to be running out of their currency. They're going to leave the euro. They're going to be leaving out of all the other investments. They're going to go to the only safe harbor. So it's not going to be people leaving the dollar in the coming days, John. No, Dr. Williams, it's not. With all due respect, sir, it's people running into the dollar. So all the schleprocks out there saying market collapse, it's a rigged market. How are you going to collapse it? Explain that to me. They're all looking in the wrong place, folks. This is what I've been trying to say. You're looking for an economic collapse in the wrong place. I've said it since 2014. How the dollar is treated overseas, that is what predicates how the economy of the United States will die. And the day is coming when the last dollar won't be used in trade anymore. The day is coming when the last financial instrument will not be settled in the dollar anymore. The day is coming where not a single energy contract will not be settled in the dollar anymore. And that is when the dollar dies. We are at least 4 or 5 years away from any of that happening. But what is happening is the continuing diminishment of the use of the dollar in global trade, in global settlement. And what is happening is that you're going to have an influx of the dollar coming back in, which you cannot hide in the bolt holes of Euroclear. You cannot hide it in Clearstream. You cannot hide it in the Blix. You cannot hide it anywhere else in the world. You can't hide it and shove it, shoving it up the rear end of the Fed and putting it on the Fed's balance sheet. You're going to have to put it somewhere. The freaking stock market. You got to hide the inflation somewhere. Bloody stock market. You ever wonder why your groceries are up this month? You ever wonder why the past few weeks, past few days, you've seen higher and higher prices at the grocery and the checkout counters? Got to put it somewhere. The American physical economy is dying. The paper, fake, fraudulent, electronic economy is doing great. And that's why I keep telling you folks, stop listening to people who are out there telling you the market's going to collapse tomorrow. There's going to be dollar flight. Absolute opposite. The Wall Street cash machine is on full tilt. Oh, V, the market is down. There's been a lot of, who cares? It's moving 400 or 500 points up and down any given day. It could collapse 3,000 points tomorrow and still be in a freaking bull market. It doesn't matter. But V, and if you're a sharp trader, you'll take advantage. You'll take advantage. And people are freaking out, man. People are freaking out. Look at the 5-year chart on the bloody Dow. Look at the 5-year. In 2015, when I was on the air telling everybody, hey, you know what? It was 15,000 points. I said we're going to blow past 20 when everybody was calling for collapse. And you're worried about the fact that it's down. It went from 25,000 to 24,000. Are you bloody kidding me? If you're a smart trader, you know how to manage your funds. You're making a killing. You're laughing all the way to the bank. If you're in an exchange, if you're in an index fund, you're doing quite damn well too. Oh yeah. If you're listening to all these fear mongers out there, the fear peddlers who are telling you that the market's going to crash tomorrow, it's over dead, and the portals of hell are going to open on the floor, and Lucifer himself is going to come out and rape you, and then and it's the end of the world, and you got to go into your bunker and your basements and eat cat food, folks. No, we've seen economic collapses throughout the modern world, even in the last 10, 15 years. Have you seen a Mad Max scenario anywhere? No. You've seen disruptions. You've seen some little bit of rioting in some areas. You've seen some social discord. You haven't seen a Mad Max scenario. Doesn't happen that way. Human nature is to seek order, especially when you've been pampered for this bloody long. The greatest transfer of wealth in human history is about to take place, and the only question you need to be asking yourself is not running and hiding, is how the hell do I profit? That is the only question. I'm telling you, you got another 4 or 5 years. You're going to have some volatility. You're going to have some gains. But overall, it's just a lot of gains. There's a lot of money to be made. Seize the day, man. Carpe diem. Make some money. Go out there. Be creative. Don't sit back in fear. You got all the tools at your disposal. You got cryptocurrencies out there. You got gold. There's so many things you can do. Oh my God. I mean, the world is your oyster. Go forth and prosper, man. Go forth and prosper. Oh, but you don't understand the whole thing. It's never lack of resources. It's always lack of resourcefulness that keeps a person down. There is great wealth to be made. Great wealth to be made. And if you position yourself in some key industries right now, you're going to kill it. You position yourself in cryptos now, you're going to kill it. Look, cryptos ain't going nowhere, man. Bitcoin ain't going nowhere. How do I know? I'm going to have to do this again, don't I? I'm going to have to do this again. Let me see if I can find this. All right, let me see if I can find this. Oh, yeah, I can find it. Here we go. Beep, 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 beep. How do I know? Bum, 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 bum. Let me see. Yeah, how do I know? How do I know about cryptos? All right, can I show this? Yeah, application window. Hold on, folks. Yeah. How do I know? Here we go. Oh, yeah. Hold on, hold on. Oh, geez, Louise. All right, here we go. Save image as. Almost done. Bear with me. There. Okay. So I'll close this out. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about because I'm going to have to do it over here on this morning show because y'all don't know about this, man. Okay, cool. How do I know? This is how I know. Take a look at them numbers. Take a look at them numbers. It's about 600 million. That is from a client of a large institution that is in the process that has given it to me for me to broker a crypto deal for them to find them Bitcoin. And my relationship, here we go. Let me present to you. There you go. 600 million right there. Boom. My relationship that I have is I represent 6 of the largest buyers and investors in cryptocurrency in the entire United States. One of my buyers is the largest liquidity provider for exchanges as well as trading desks in the entire world. So they wanted to give me proof of funds to do this and get it done. Do you think some of these large institutions who are spending this much amount of money that they're stupid? That they're really dumb? Do you really think? And doesn't that also show to you that exactly what I said, that, you know what, everybody's hunting the yield? They're all hunting the yield, and what they want to do is they want to get in there and they want to go ahead and make a profit. They want to get into all sorts of different types of alternative assets. They're going to be getting into cryptos. Well, here's the truth, man. Here's the truth. I'm gonna show you something else. Not playing around. Hold on. Copy image. Yeah, this is good. This y'all need to see this. See, I'm giving it to. I'm showing you this because I'm showing you exactly what it is that I do day in and day out, and I'm the real McCoy. I'm not trying to fake this. I'm showing you the actual movements here. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Okay, so you guys can see this because y'all need to see this, man. You guys need to see this because you guys need to understand when I'm telling you, yo, there's a lot of big money in movement right now. They are literally moving right now. Let me bring this up. Jesus Christ. All right, let me. All right, here we go. Ah, download button. Okay. Save. Perfect. Okay, hold on, guys. Watch this. Watch this. Bup, 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 bup. Oh, what the hell's the? All right, what's up? Okay, where is it? No, that's not it. All right, hold on. I screwed that up. Let's see if I can bring it back up again. Oh, the things I gotta do here. All right, whatever. Place this. Okay. All right, sit tight, guys. I'm gonna pull this up, and you guys need to really see this for what it is. Download that. No, I'm not gonna put it in downloads. I'm gonna put it right on desktop. Save. Open. Perfect. Okay, good. Now watch this. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is another proof of funds for another client. Read it. 5 billion. That's a lot of zeros. That's a lot of zeros. Okay. That's a lot of zeros. What are they doing? What is that client doing? Another institution moving it into Bitcoin. I'm telling you right now, a Bitcoin ETF will be approved anytime between now and possibly, I'd say, mid to late April. There's a very high probability. Whenever they decide to do it, it's going to happen. So every single person that's getting into cryptocurrencies right now, the price at this point is a gift. It's a gift. They are praying that Bitcoin goes lower. Why? Because they're buying it up. There's a very, 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 very little coin available. Very little coin available. Okay. And you have some of the biggest sharks out there that are paying a premium over spot. So if the Bitcoin cost was, let's just say, I don't know, let's say it's 3,400 or whatnot, right? They will get in there and they're willing to pay 1, 2, 3, 4% over spot just so they can get the coin, because they understand that the discount is in the coin. Okay, the discount is in the price itself. They're grabbing it, and this is what I'm saying. The industries right now, folks, crypto ain't going nowhere. Cannabis ain't going nowhere. Okay, CBD oil stuff ain't going nowhere. Decentralized, programs and apps and all these other wonderful technologies that are emerging, they're not going anywhere. Ain't going nowhere. So you need to figure it out for yourself. What are you going to do? Because I'm telling you right now, there's no reason for anybody to work a job. No more reason. Because a job is what a job is. There's an old saying, a job is what? Just over broke. That's all it is. You and your employer have competing interests. You want to make more money. Your employer wants to keep overhead down. Overhead happens to be your paycheck. You have so much at your fingertips, okay? You have so much more at your fingertips that you can go forth and create yourself a wonderful income stream, or even multiple income streams. Be positioned, folks. Has always been the message of Rogue. Be positioned, because the largest wealth transfer in U.S. history is about to take place. And I'm telling you, I don't know how this thing is going to come out. I don't know, how the U.S. will wind up when, what's going to happen after Trump leaves office. I shudder to think. I really do. Because I know him being there is holding back a lot of the evil that could be unleashed. But when he's gone, what's the plan? I don't know. But you could be financially positioned that no matter what happens, see, there's an old saying, you got to have FU money. Right? No matter what happens, F you. You can tell anybody F you and you're out. You have the money to leverage to take your family out of harm's way, because that's what the game is. You have the ability and the financial wherewithal to say, hey, you know what, honey, things are really going crappy here. I think it's time that we exit stage left. Pack up the kids. We're going to board the private plane, or we're going to get our first class tickets, and we're going to head over to, I don't know, Panama. Head over to Singapore. Head over to Japan. Head over to Hong Kong. Head over to Hungary. Head over to Poland. Head over whatever. But you'll have the resources. Head over to Argentina. And you'll have the damn resources to get it done. The days of people just sitting around listening to information, not doing anything about it, those days are over. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be the keyboard jockey. You don't want to be the person sitting on the sidelines watching the world go by. No. You got to be active. And you got to be engaged. And that's just what I'm saying. Be positioned and be leveraged. And be smart. This is V. I'm over and I'm out.